what's Haaland doing in that 10 seconds to become, and I love that, like a goldfish and forget it
Yeah.
and move forward and almost rebalance compared to somebody somebody who isn't that sophisticated in it. So like what can someone listen to you from you today and take from that and go, right, I can go and implement that straight away. What can you do to,
Yep.
because I hold on to these things a lot. How do
Yeah.
you reset quickly or rebound quickly?
Well, I think there's trigger words that people use. Mine, yeah, and you're certainly right. I've missed so many important kicks playing rugby, and I've thrown a pass that's got intercepted in the last minute and we've lost, or, I've missed a tackle on, halfway up the field and they've gone on and score a try, or, I've had 7 kicks at goal and I've only hit 1. And, and ultimately that's not the reason why we lost, but it is in the points department. And I always used to have triggers when I was kicking. If I had a bad performance up until then, it was to change that right now. So I used to tell myself, time for change, and 3 words I used to say to myself before I kicked was control, commit, okay, and patience. So if I felt that I was ready to take that kick, I'd give myself an extra breath, then patience. Just wait until you're... And Haaland will be saying to himself, I'll get another chance. It's all good. It's only one. It's gone. If I've still got that in my mind and the next time it comes around, I'm going to miss. So I've got no option. So the trigger for him would be disappointed for 10 seconds. Okay. But I've got to get back in the box because there's another chance coming. Especially with all the fantastic players he plays with, he's going to get chances, isn't he? And Shearer was a little bit different. He used to take the ball and do it himself.
Let's dig into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So in that moment, you're commanding your mind. I'm thinking about this a lot actually recently about, I'm talking to a lot of mindset coaches and they say, and it's just interesting, the power of your mind. So you're commanding your mind, you're taking control. You're not allowing yourself to go into self-doubt.
Nope.
You're stopping that from happening proactively.
Yep.
Regardless of the thing that's just happened, but you're commanding your mind to think differently.
Yeah.
And almost take yourself, instead of going into a negative spiral, into a positive, something great's about to happen.
Yeah.
Or could happen.
You've always got choices, and I believe that mindset is built on choices. It's a choice you have. You can let it affect you. You can take a negative mindset, or you can say to yourself, I'll get another chance. Or next time. That wasn't my best. That was embarrassing. But it's your ego. You've dented your ego. I've just missed in front of 50, 60,000 people. Well, if you miss again in front of 60,000 people and miss again in 60,000, how are you going to recover from that? So you've got no choice. Dust yourself down, but also say to yourself, this one's mine. And you do everything to get there and make it yours. So I think, when you're working with mindset coaches and everything like that, they'll always come back to that. It's like you've got a choice. You've got to have that positive mindset. And if you haven't, I coach young athletes, and we talk about the failure funnel, or what the way I like to describe it as a slippery slope, right? When you miss or you've had a poor performance, okay, then your confidence takes a hit. So your confidence is at the top of that funnel. It's an upside down funnel. So your confidence is here. So you're disappointed in yourself, okay, or you're embarrassed. That's the top tier. The next thing to go is confidence to do it again. You're not going to try that trick if you've just fallen on your butt, or you've just skied a penalty. You're not going to put yourself forward to take another. Well, you are. You should, And the next thing down is not just losing confidence, but it's fear of failure. Once we hit that fear of failure, you're on a slippery slope down to the other two, where you might as well be taken off. You've got a choice in those first 2 tiers to say, hey, this is on me, but it's gone. The next one's on me, so I make it right. And it's easy for me to sit here and say, but for someone who's been through it, it's a lonely, lonely place where you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, expectations from your coaches, from yourself, and it's management of that expectation.
Do you have to distance yourself from the expectation?
Yeah, 100%. You've got to be realistic with the expectation. You can say, today I want to score 2 goals, 3 goals. That's not an expectation. That's a pressure you're putting on yourself. So a lot of people fail because of performance anxiety, right? So take that performance anxiety away. Come back to the present. There's a great coach. I can't remember what he was called. I was listening to his podcast, and another coach said to him, what would be your best advice for people that struggle with performance anxiety? It would be to come back to the present. We don't control the past. It's already happened. the present is something we have control of, but also the future is something we have an influence on. So you've got a choice. Again, you can sulk about what you've just missed or the race that you've just lost. But what's going to happen? You're going to carry that forward. If you have a memory of a goldfish and maybe take something from that saying, hey, this is what didn't actually work. I can work on that and then take it into the next one. That's the influence you're having on the future. But the present moment is time for you to go, okay, cool, it's done. I would have loved to have done this. I should have done this maybe. Let's work on that and take it forward. Right now in the present is not the time for reflection. It's after the event's finished. So thinking about the things that maybe Holland's missed a few or whatever it might be, or somebody's missed a few shots at goal, think about them after the game. You can't think about them now because you're never going to be present in that game until you let them go. Usain Bolt, great example, trains for 4 years for 10 seconds, And he said, my starts used to be the worst. Used to be the worst out of everybody. So the last 60 meters is where I had to make everything up because I was faster. What did I do for 2.5 years? First 30 minutes of his sessions, 40-minute sessions, starts all the time. Never used to be before that, but he was recognizing, hey, I need to change my starts. Otherwise, I'm going to get beaten. So yeah, you've got to take it on yourself and be in control of that. Whatever you can control it.